Hi everyone. Today we're going to talk about why we're here. Why did we come here? Why would God ask us to be born? Why? I get a lot of people who are a little confused about that. They tend to think, oh, I'm just here to, bring my children into the world. Oh, I'm just here, to be the wife of my husband or the husband of my wife. Or I'm here to support my family. And oh, you people, I would just like to choke. Only because you're thinking so small. That's not like the main reason God sent you here. That's kind of like the fluff on the outside. It's like having a peanut butter sandwich. The bread is the fluff. The bread is just kind of like holding everything together. The peanut butter in the middle is the sticky stuff. It's why you're here. It's where you're supposed to be going and what you're supposed to be doing. That's what it's all about. And I think because in life we just get so bogged down and we allow our environment to just take over that we lose sight of who we are and why we're really here. Everyone comes with something significant to contribute to this world. And it's not, you don't necessarily have to be, the CEO of the next great nonprofit, nor do you, have to be the guy who helps starving children. Those are big things. Though, what you're here to do is what's in your heart, whatever you're called to do. And the problem with that is people don't know what they're called here to do because they don't quiet themselves enough to connect to who they are and why they're here and what they're supposed to be doing. And then, God forbid they actually do connect, then they freak out. Because it's like, how the bleepity bleep am I supposed to do that? They're focusing on just what's right in front of them, what they're doing right now. Instead of kind of taking the blinders off and going, wow, this world is really big and I can do so much. Not I can only do so much, but I can do so much, significantly much. And if we would all just find that one reason for being here, this world will be so much better. And I see it in people all the time. I see it in my own family members. I see it in my friends. I see how they spin their wheels, being in something that they've allowed themselves to be in, instead of breaking away, taking a chance. They're so afraid. They need that security blanket underneath them. And from someone who's self-employed, I can tell you it's pretty darn scary. Because being self-employed it's just difficult. Those who are self-employed can relate. And people who live, to work for someone else to get paid, they think they have that security, but they don't, because that can be ripped out from underneath them at any moment. Where when you're self-employed, the only person you have to blame or congratulate is yourself. And usually when you do what you're supposed to do, everything just flows. Life just flows. The doors just open. And life is fabulous. If life is not flowing for you, stop. Just stop what you're doing and take a step back and go, what the hell am I doing here? Okay, God, I'm 50 years now. Let's just say I'm 50 years old now. And I'm freaked out because maybe I got laid off and I don't have a job. And I know that's a big sign. Or maybe I quit my job because I couldn't stand it. That's still a big sign. So how do I get where I need to be? What's my next step? The problem is so many people, when they get signs like that, really big signs, they try and control it. And then it just kind of blows up in their face. You cannot control something like that. What happens is if you try and control it, you take yourself into an even worse situation, or a worse job, or a worse marriage, or a worse relationship. Instead of just kind of let going of it all and going, I hate to use that term, but it's true, let go and let God. Because there is something so much bigger than you and I. And that flow comes from that source that's bigger than you and I. We're just this teeny little dot inside our massive soul. Our soul controls us. I don't like that word control. But our soul is kind of the engine of the car. And we're getting inside the car and trying to drive it. And if we're driving on the wrong road, or if we're driving the wrong way, our higher self, our soul, tries to tell us, tries to correct us. But you know what happens? Oh, we think we know so much. We think we're so flippin' smart because we're these physical beings inside this little environment and we can do whatever we want. And life does not work that way. Life gets hard that way. You struggle with life that way. So my plea is for everyone to just take a minute. Just take 2 minutes. Close your eyes. Take a couple of deep breaths and say, okay, God, show me the way. Show me some signs. Or whatever word you use to describe that being that's more than you. Where do I go? What do I do? But always ask. Don't just ask once and then let it go and say, oh, that's it. You have to ask that every day when you wake up. Every morning when I wake up, I'm like, okay, God, who am I helping today? Where am I going? What am I doing? And I stay in that flow. And every moment, it's like, okay, do this next. Okay, do this next. That's the flow. That's how the good things in life flow toward you. People wonder all the time, well, how come this guy won the lotto? Or how come this guy did so great? Because he was open to the flow. He connected to his heart and soul and knows what he's supposed to be doing. That's why everything works for him. And everything can work for you too. Just do the same thing. This is not some big thing you gotta go learn. You gotta go see Anthony Robbins, although, he helps. He's a really good rah-rah guy. I don't know what's that thing he says. Yes, yes, yes. He's really good at motivating people. But, he started somewhere. Everyone started somewhere. But they connect to that one thing that they know they're here to do. And they don't let other people's criticisms or other people's whatevers to get in the way. Because, it's really got nothing to do with your wife, sister, brother, father, mother, what they think. The only thing that matters is what you think and what you feel God thinks. Because really, he's the only one you really have to worry about. So take a minute, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and ask God to help you remember why you're here. And ask God to help you remember that it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. It only matters what you think and what you know in your heart is what's right. Ciao.